Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. And whichever platform you're listening to this on, I just want to let you know I really do appreciate it. And if you are subscribed, thank you for being a subscriber. But if you are not a subscriber yet, please do go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you're listening to this on YouTube while you're at it, go ahead and hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place, and let's get into this podversation / reality chat. Guys, I just wanted to share an update that I heard and just give my opinion on what I believe is the reason for what happened. Okay, so talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville, Martellholt, melodyshari, the custody battle, which in all honesty, I feel Martell's the one that started the battle, but Melody's going to win the war. So bring it on, right? But Martell, he wanted to put Melody in this terrible light that most people will not see her in terms of neglecting the children, putting her career first, seeking fame and celebrity and money for the sake of the household and the children and being a mom and, you know, things like that, that he tries to paint her in a terrible light. So therefore, and thereby doing that, he wanted to allege that she was just leaving the children with any Tom, Dick, and Harry, having what his words, in his words, I should say, 20-something, that's his thing, right? 20-something babysitters for the children. And he claims that he wanted to make a negotiation with her that if she had the children during her time, which they have 50-50 joint custody, and if she had the children during times where she had to travel and do things that she could not keep the children with her, that he would at least be able to get the children. And we know that he doesn't really want to have those kids, 4, let alone 5, because we know that he has another one that he did not have with his ex-wife that he had while he was married to his ex-wife. Okay, so 5 kids, he hardly wants 1, because he definitely did not want to have a baby with the other chick, but I believe she had the child out of spite. I'm not blaming her for getting pregnant, because I'm not one of those people that feels like, well, she got pregnant, it was her choice to, you know, do whatever she was going to do, and if she knew that she didn't have a man in her life, she should have did what she needed to do, because a man ultimately is the one that gets the woman pregnant. Yeah, it takes both of those people to interact with each other, shall we say, we'll put it like that, in order for it to come to that ultimate result of a child being born. So I get that. But as she has stated, it's happened on a number of occasions, and she chose not to move forward with having the child. So I believe that this time she did it out of spite. And look, I'm not even going to go down that road with that conversation, but you ultimately get my drift of what I'm trying to say. She wanted to feel as if having this baby was going to make him shape up and leave his wife and be with her. And we know that that was one of the ridiculous thoughts that she had. But anyway, he does not want to have those children, but he wants to terrorize his ex-wife. So getting served with papers, I'm quite sure that was not a good feeling. It's never a good feeling to get served with papers. I've been there and done that, not in the family court situation, but as a business owner that has been in business for many years, there's going to be probably at least one time in your life that someone attempts to take you to court, because that's just the world that we live in. I used to be a legal assistant for over 12 years. We live in a very litigious society. I often call this country the Sue SA, because people want to, and sometimes do, sue people for any reason, even if it's a frivolous lawsuit. Like you saw recently that the former president filed a $500 million lawsuit against his former attorney. And I just feel that that's a frivolous lawsuit, but I'm not going to go down that road. I'm just using that as one example, okay? All right, so I feel that he did that to terrorize her because it's never a good feeling to get served. Even if you know that you're going to win, in the end, it still doesn't feel good. Even if you know it's going to get dropped, it's not going to, get to, a far extent. Just having to deal with that alone, it's a headache. It's money, it's time that you have to take away from all the other things that you're doing. It really is a time suck, and it's an energy suck, and it's a money suck. And so those are things that he wants to do because he is a energy vampire. He just sucks the good energy out of anything, and ultimately those he's around, anyone, unless they have the same type of spirit and energy that he has, okay? So him doing that, it was definitely to terrorize his ex-wife. So probably in that moment of getting served, it didn't feel good, but then it's like, okay, you want to do this? Now it's on. So she responded in kind by countersuing him for full custody of the children herself. And I said, good, because she let so much go when she got divorced from him. There was an order that he was supposed to pay her back money that he took out of an account. He never did. She did not seek alimony. She did not seek child support. She just wanted to leave him, and she didn't even want her name. Like, we know that she legally it's still Holt, but she's not using the name anymore. She's like, I don't even want your name. So it's not even a Tina Turner situation where it's like, just give him a name. She's like, you can have that name. I don't even want to have anything associated with you anymore besides my children. And they have the name. I'm not trying to change their last name, but I don't need to be a Holt anymore. And so she's standing her ground with that. And I say kudos to her. So again, it's being reported that there was a hearing yesterday in family court in Huntsville, and guess who no-showed? Oh my gosh, Martell Holt. Allegedly, he did not show up. It's being reported that he did not come to court. I don't know what type of hearing this was. I don't know if it was a full-on trial or it was a pre-trial situation. It was probably a pre-trial situation. But here is what I think happened. And again, I'm just sharing my opinions based on him not showing up. If you saw the first episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville this season that aired, he was speaking with his mom at the table, again, trashing Melody, trying to make himself be the good guy. And this is all I want. And she's just not negotiating with me about the babysitter thing, so I had to sue for custody. So, when I got that bill from my attorney for $10,000, I got pissed off. Well, what did you think was going to happen when you took someone to court and you hired an attorney? Do you think they were going to do it pro bono? This is not a car accident case where they say, no fee unless we win. No, those types of cases, they don't even take your case unless they know they can get something for you. So that really is not even, so to speak, a case. It's literally a negotiation. Once in a while, a car accident case may go to trial, and it's usually because the plaintiff, the one who's injured, is holding out for more, and the other side just refuses to give in to the demands, so they press it and they go to court. Okay, so with Martell having the gall and the balls to sue his ex-wife for full custody when he knows that he really is not in a place to have full custody of his children. But the play was, if I can get full custody, then I can get child support. That's what he wants. He does not want to be responsible in any way, shape, or form. He wants to live this fraudulent lifestyle where he's appearing as if he is successful and prosperous when he really is not. Wearing the suits, being clean shaven, having someone come to your house or your mama's house, because allegedly he lives with his mama, to give you a facial, a skincare treatment, and you stop going to see Dr. Francis, which he never was really seeing Dr. Francis. I believe those few times that he had an on-camera discussion with Dr. Francis, it was just for the show. He was never going to take in anything that Dr. Francis said to him because Dr. Francis could see right through the BS. And so he wants to sit and have a conversation, preferably with a female. So we saw that he was sitting with a female therapist, but he's not going to change his ways. He is who he is. I think the only way that this man would change in a slight way, not completely, is if, I don't know if you ever saw the play, Tyler Perry's Diary of a Mad Black Woman, the play, not the movie. But even the movie, I don't know. I saw the play way, way, way back in the day, and I think I have the play on DVD also. It's ratchet, it's Chitlin Circuit, but it's funny. But the husband was just so terrible and mean, and he got into a bad car accident and was paralyzed and had to be in a wheelchair. And so it took this life-altering situation to make him humble himself, to apologize and, want his wife back. Now, if I was the wife, I wouldn't have come back to him. But I'm just saying, I feel like for somebody like Martell, it would take a life-altering situation to happen similar to that to make him change his ways in the slightest. But he wouldn't change completely. I just believe that there's just no hope for this man, and he is who he is. But in my opinion, I truly believe he did not show up for court, that it's being reported that he didn't show up, is because he didn't pay the bill. I believe he didn't show up because he did not pay the bill. And not only that, okay, because if the attorney felt like he had a strong case, I'm going to tell you what probably would have happened just based on my experience being in the legal field. Every law firm is different, so I'm not saying that this is exactly what would happen. But just based on experience, because I have worked in a family law practice before, I've never practiced family law. But if they feel that the person has a strong case, they would take a payment and take some payments. But if they feel that that person has a strong case, they ultimately are going to seek legal fees from the other side. So the attorney, if Martell had made some sort of payment, the attorney would have showed up for him, and he would have, of course, shown up to court with the attorney. And he ultimately would feel that he would be able to get the legal fees that he was charging from the defendant and the counterclaimant, which is melodyshari. So with that being said, I believe the reason that he didn't show up to court is because he didn't have that money and he doesn't have a strong case. The attorney knows it. And look, attorneys, they're going to make their money or they're not going to work. So when it comes down to it, and this is one of the reasons why I say, if you can settle out of court, try your best to do so, because ultimately for most people who wins the majority of the time, it's the attorneys, because they're going to get paid whether that person wins or not. If a criminal defense attorney is representing someone for a, horrible, heinous crime, they're going to get that money even if that person gets convicted. They still got their money, so the attorney won. Okay? So the attorneys, they're going to get their money. In those criminal trials, they're not representing anyone unless they get that money. It's not no fee unless we win your case and we get you exonerated. No, they're like, look, it's the luck of the draw. We're going to do what we can. Hopefully we can get you off, maybe get you a deal that we can cut, but this is what the fees are going to be. This is my retainer, and these are the hourly fees, hourly rates. So with that being said, I truly believe that the reason why he didn't show up to court is because he didn't have that money, just like he said in that first episode of the newest season of Love and Marriage Huntsville. He got pissed off when he got that bill for $10,000, and he never said that he paid it. He just said he got pissed off when he got the bill. He didn't say he got pissed off when he had to write that check and send it in to the attorney's office. Okay? So I believe he didn't have the money. The attorney that was representing him didn't believe he had a strong case. And he didn't have the money. He didn't show up. And he is not a good representative of himself. So he couldn't even represent himself pro bono and just show up in court and say, I'm representing myself. Period. So guys, I just find it funny and really ironic that he's trying to drag Melody through the mud with all of this stuff, and he ultimately didn't even show up for this court hearing on yesterday. So you can let me know your thoughts about all of it in the comments section below. And, I just feel that because it's being alleged that Kiki, who is Letitia's cousin, who's now on this season of Love and Marriage Huntsville, it's being alleged that she possibly was shoplifting from a Home Depot down there in Huntsville, Alabama. Look, I don't believe it. I saw the image from the camera. They're doppelgangers. People look like people all the time. I don't think that woman did that. I really don't. But that's something that's going around the internet right now on YouTube, and people are alleging that, yeah, it was definitely her. But I don't believe it's her. I don't think it's her. But what I will say is, I think Martell needs to go down to that Home Depot and fill out an application, because I'm quite sure they have now hiring signs all around, just like a lot of these other businesses that can't keep people employed these days. They need help. So Martell, you need help. They need help. So go ahead, fill out an application, work, get that money, and maybe you'll be more successful next time by being able to pay an attorney, but you still will not win the war. So thank you guys so much for listening to this podversation. Thank you for liking this commentary. This is Beth, and I'm just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.